interview on Voytur Radio. How are you guys? So in today's podcast, what we're going to do is we're going to do an interview to one of our C1 students, Alejandro. How are you?
Hi there, Eric.
How's everything going, man?
It's a pleasure.
All right, thanks. So I was very interested in speaking to you because I wanted to know, look, you lived in England, in London, right? And how was your experience?
I lived in Manchester, by the way. But,
okay, sorry.
well, don't worry.
Oops.
I finished my studies 1 year ago approximately, and I decided to move away because I considered it really important to develop my professional career in order to develop my language skills as well. So I decided to go to the UK, and I asked for some tips to people who has been there before, and they told me to go to Manchester because it was a really big city as well. It wasn't as expensive as London is.
Yeah.
So it was a good chance, and I decided just to go without nothing.
Nice. And what was like the main difference that you could see between, you know, like the Anglo-Saxon way of thinking and acting, and in comparison with the Spanish way of thinking and acting?
You have to be aware that everything is different there.
Yeah.
So starting from their attitude toward the job, how they control their emotions, how they spend their leisure time.
Yeah.
That's everything, the way they socialize, the conception they have about the life. So everything is different, and something that caused me a lot of impact was how focused they were on their works, their jobs. Yeah. They always want themselves to be the best. So it's like huge competitive attitude.
Yeah, most definitely. I can bear witness to that. But I suppose in the end it boils down to basically they live to work in a sense, and we work to live over here in Spain, right? I mean, people, you can see those big differences between our world and their world. People here, doesn't matter how little they earn or whatever, you know, they always try to enjoy it to the maximum, you know, going out every day, or at least just to, you know, go down to the bar and have a drink, you know. And I suppose England is similar to the US in that, you know, my experience in the US has been that precisely. You know, when people go out, they go out to drink, it's not like a social activity per se. You know, you go out and you get drunk and you get wasted. That's it. That's the focus. You know, for us, it's like a secondary effect, you know, of having to socialize more or less. So I bet that you must have some funny anecdotes, you know, because that always happens when you move to a foreign country, you know, and people usually come back with really fun anecdotes. Do you have any of those?
Yeah, I spent 7 months there, so I have time enough to have funny anecdotes, of course. Yeah. Starting from the differences, it says that they work seriously. It is not a topic they are too focused. So main difference, for example, the weather. We had the best weather ever. Yeah. The time in England, it is not really enjoyable, you know. So they socialize in indoors spaces.
Yeah.
We are used to socialize outdoors in the streets.
Yeah.
So their attitude is different.
Yeah.
For example, when you go to a pub, just to take some beers or something like that, you can see a lot of people drinking alone without talking each other. We
Yeah.
are accustomed to socialize. Meanwhile we are drinking.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, we speak to each other, you know, we
They-
stand in circles.
They go there to drink.
Yeah, yeah.
And you can share some amusing conversation with the typical drunk people in the
Yeah.
pub. That's interesting. Another point, that's the accents.
The accents.
The accents are
Yeah,
too weird, you know, for example, to talk with a Scottish or an Irish.
yeah, it's completely different.
That's complicated, and
Yeah.
how serious they are has a reflection even in the way they talk to the people. You know,
Yeah.
you can be sometimes in shock when a British person is talking to you, because you can misconcept their intentions.
Yeah.
It happened the same with us when we are like too rude with them. For example, I want a beer. No, could I have a beer?
Please.
Please. Yeah.
Yeah,
They want you to be polite.
Yeah, yeah.
So sometimes
yeah.
there are like
Yeah, that's like I once read or somebody asked me, you know, like, oh no, I once was waitressing in the coast, right, and these British asked me that why people were so rude to me. I was like, what do you mean so rude?
yeah.
And they were like, oh no, because they say una cerveza cuando puedas, and it's like, don't they even say please?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but they don't mean, they're telling me that whenever I can, they would like a beer, you know, and I can put it whenever I have time to do it. In some ways, you know, it's even more polite to say, take your time, you know.
In my case, I was a waiter, and I have to say that not every time the client, the customer, is right. You know, it is say that
The
okay,
customer's
customers are always right.
Yeah, not
No.
always, not
Okay,
always.
why? Because I'm gonna tell you an anecdote.
Yeah,
They are used to give tips
yeah,
to the waiters.
Yeah.
Okay, so it makes your occupation more demanding.
Yeah.
Even because they are like able to push you to treat them like
royalty.
royalty.
Yeah,
Exactly. I was going to say that because in my particular case, in my restaurant, the restaurant was divided on sections, and every waiter had their own.
Yeah.
So the tips wasn't shared
Sure. Yeah.
among all the
Waiters,
the teammates.
Yeah, you get what you get in your section.
It was like the deep race, or something like that, and I was. Sometimes I felt like stressed, like my mates were pissing me out, and was annoying, and the client was smart.
Yeah.
So they always wanted you to be like with perfect models to serve you, because you are the person who has to earn your tip.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah, true. I mean, that it happens the same way in the U.S. You know, waiters and waitresses work for tips mostly. I mean, they get a salary, but it's low enough that, you know, tips help out. And also, you know, that's something that's really big difference with here. You know, in your note, you always have the percentage of tip you have to give according to how much you spent. You know, so it's like a tax in a sense. You know, there you go.
I don't consider it a proper system.
Yeah, no, that's not a that's a really tricky system, right? So, so far you've been here in Voytur for a couple months, right? Like, how has your experience been so far?
Well, I have to say that when I was in Manchester, I was receiving English lessons,
Yeah.
and wasn't useful enough for
Yeah.
my knowledge, you know. And when I started in Voytur, I realized that apart from the classes that are really useful,
Mhm.
they offer you totally freedom to
Yeah.
make your schedule.
Yeah.
You know, for example, in this case, I come in twice a week to do some exams in order
Yeah.
to my preparation.
Yeah.
That's the key. They provide you extra material,
Mhm.
and it gives you the opportunity to take more advantage even.
Yeah. Yeah, most definitely.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that's something we like to do. You know, we not it's not only the class and then just go home and leave me alone. It's more than that, right? It's more like it's more a philosophy than just, you know, teaching. We pride ourselves in teaching and also, you know, offering the students some time, you know, that they can come in, use our facilities, they can study here, they can ask, you know, they can request something, anything they need, you know, and our facilities are open, you know, from Monday to Thursday, you know, the mornings and afternoons up until 10 o'clock. So, you know, that's something we pride ourselves in, you know, it's doing something different. I really appreciate that you noticed that. Also, being that asked, so would you recommend anybody who's watching or listening?
Yeah, of course. If you are in Villanueva de la Serena, Don Benito, or surroundings, I will strongly recommend the people to come here, because probably it is not because Eric is my teacher. I love that guy, of course, but I strongly recommend the people to come here because probably it's the best academy in these cities.
Yeah. Well, thanks a lot, man. So, thanks a lot for your time, man. I hope I see you next day in class.
Yeah.
So, everybody, thank you for watching, and we'll be giving you soon more stuff, more interesting stuff to watch. Peace.